In 1980, a man walked into a government office and filed a claim, not for land, not for gold, but for the entire moon, and no one stopped him. His name was Dennis Hope, a struggling entrepreneur from Nevada, going through a divorce, out of cash, and looking for a loophole. And he found it, in the most unexpected place, the Outer Space Treaty of 1967. So, in 1980, Dennis Hope walked into a San Francisco registrar's office, filled out a property claim, and filed legal ownership of the moon, plus Mars, Venus, and several moons of Jupiter, just in case. No one said no. 3, 2, 1. Then he got bold. Dennis began selling land on the moon, quarter-acre plots complete with deeds, maps, and certificates. Prices started at $20, and people bought in, lots of people. By the 2000s, Hope claimed to have sold over 6 million acres of lunar land. His clients, celebrities, presidents, even entire corporations. He formed a company, the Lunar Embassy, set up a website, hired staff, issued passports and lunar citizenship. It wasn't a joke, it was a business empire, built on a technicality in international law. Governments noticed. NASA said the claim was not recognized. The UN refused to comment, but they also didn't challenge it in court. In fact, when Hope wrote official letters to the UN and US government demanding they respond, they never did. According to Hope, silence equals consent. And here's the strange part. Even lawyers admitted, he had no legal opposition. His claim wasn't valid, but it wasn't invalid either. It existed in a gray zone, a legal limbo, orbiting just beyond the law. Hope went further. He began selling land on Mars, Io, Europa, and Titan. He created a galactic government and named himself head custodian of the moon. He even issued taxes for lunar landowners, though no one paid them, yet. Real estate experts rolled their eyes. But economists noticed something chilling. If space mining becomes real, whoever holds the paperwork might get a seat at the negotiating table. And in that case, Dennis Hope wouldn't just be a joke, he'd be a stakeholder. So the question becomes, can you actually own the moon? The Outer Space Treaty says no, but it's outdated, written before private spaceflight existed. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, none of them signed it personally. If a company lands on the moon and begins harvesting resources, who settles the land dispute? What court holds jurisdiction? And if someone already holds a deed, from a man who filed it before anyone else, does that count? Some legal scholars say yes, others say it's nonsense. But until a government or international court officially invalidates it, the claim stands. Today, Dennis Hope is still selling lunar plots. He's made millions. And his lunar embassy continues to print deeds, stamps, and interplanetary titles. It may sound absurd, but in the absence of law, absurdity becomes reality. The moon may belong to all mankind, but on paper, it might just belong to one guy in Nevada. When law doesn't reach far enough, is the first person who steps forward the rightful owner? Subscribe to Chronicles Unveiled, where truth isn't just stranger than fiction, it sells by the acre.